This session focuses on explaining what is globalization and what is difference between globalization, international business, and international trade. Though we use these terms interchangeably, the fact is that each of these terms has specific objective and scope. So moving on, let's start our discussion on what is globalization. Globalization refers to growth of global connectivity, which is achieved through integration and interdependence of countries or economies. Now, the question that comes to our mind is, what is interdependence and what is integration of economies? Interdependence means dependence of countries on each other for sharing resources. We all know that resources are not equally distributed among countries. Some countries are rich in oil and mineral resources, while some in agricultural resources, and many others are rich in labor resources. Therefore, due to unequal distribution of resources across countries, they have to rely on each other for the resources they lack. This need for resources creates an interdependence among countries. For example, oil resources are abundant in Middle East countries, and large pool of agricultural resources, mineral resources, finished goods, etc. are available in other countries. Therefore, other countries are dependent on Middle East countries for oil resources, and at the same time, countries in the Middle East part of the world depend on other countries for their requirement of resources which they lack. So what is integration now? Integration means an extension of markets beyond national boundaries, which is possible because of the emergence of global institutions like WTO, which emphasize free and fair trade, thereby ensuring that there is no restriction on the movement of goods, services, people, capital, and technology. For example, for a company located in India, the entire world will be one single market in a truly global world. This company can sell its finished product and services in any part of the world and at the same time can also buy raw material from other countries without any restrictions. Similarly, there'll be no restrictions on movement of people, capital, and technology. In Sanskrit, globalization is defined as Vasudev Kutumbakam, which means that the entire world is one family without any boundaries. In a truly global world, national boundaries will cease to exist specifically for trade to happen between countries. Now we will look at various factors that promote globalization. One very important factor is technological advancement, both in the telecommunication and transportation sector. Technological progress, especially in transportation and communication, has significantly reduced the barriers to international trade and communication. The rise of internet, mobile technology, e-commerce, and faster transportation method has facilitated the flow of goods, services, and information across borders. Emergence of global institutions also acted as a catalyst to promote globalization. World Trade Organization, or WTO, was set up to reduce tariffs, eliminate trade barriers, and create a more open and integrated global market. Many countries have embraced economic reforms and policies that promote market liberalization. This includes reducing restrictions on foreign investment, tariff and non-tariff barriers, and adopting market-oriented economic policies. Lastly, we will try and understand the difference between international trade, international business, and globalization. As we have discussed, globalization is the integration and interdependence of countries, whereas international business comprises of all commercial activities associated with the movement of goods, services, capital, people, and technologies across national borders. International trade, on the other hand, specifically focuses on exchange of goods and services between different countries. The objective of globalization is to ensure free trade without any restriction. The key objective of international business is to increase sales and acquire resources such as capital, labor, and technology. And the objective of international trade is to expand sales through trade with other nations. Globalization is achieved through economic reforms, multilateral agreements between countries for free and fair trade. International business utilizes diverse modes such as licensing, franchising, turnkey operations, joint ventures, acquisitions, subsidiaries, exporting and importing to achieve its objective. International trade, however, primarily involves the exchange of goods and services through exports and imports. Considering all the aspects mentioned above, we can see that globalization has much wider scope as compared to international business and international trade.
Thank you for your time and do join back for more such podcasts in the area of international business.